In Vivekachudamani, the crest jewel of discernment, the gem of wisdom, Shankaracharya says in the 92nd verse, Buddhi indriyani shravanam tyag akshi ghranam cha jihva vishaya avabodhanat vak pani pada gudam apyupastha karmendriyani pravanena karmasu. Buddhi indriyani, the indriya or the organs, sense organs of buddhi, of knowledge. What are they? Shravanam, ears. Tvag akshi, tvag skin, akshi eyes, pranam nose, jihva tongue. They help us to avabodhanat, in the cognition, in knowing vishaya, different sense objects. So they help, these sense organs, they help us to get the knowledge of different sense objects, different objects. Vak, and also there is speech, vocal organs, pani, hands, padav, feet, then the organs of evacuation, etc. They help us to act. Karmendriyani, they help us to act because they are karmasu pravanena, because of the tendency to do action. Hands, they have the tendency to hold on to something or move, etc. And the feet has the tendency, they have the tendency to walk, etc. motion. So similarly, all these organs, 5 organs, speech, it has the tendency to speak, vocal cords, they have the tendency to produce sound. So all these 5 organs, they have the tendency to work. So they are organs of action. Before that, it was told Buddhi indriyani, organs of knowledge. So it is kind of input-output system of human beings. Input-output system of human beings. So, and for example, Shravana. Shravana means ears. So in ears also, our ears are made in a wonderful way. If you see this ears, there are different kinds of layers in ears. Why? Why are these layers present? Huh?
Vibration will help us to listen. Sound waves को पकड़ने के लिए उससे लगते अंदर चला जाएगा.
So like radar, it has got different kinds of layers. So the sound comes and falls there and reflection. So if you hear any sound even in a very remote place, that also you can catch. Similarly, eyes. Our eyes have different kinds of, you see, our eyes and the eyes of a cow, for example. The eyes of a cow is very primitive, but our eyes, even if somebody is standing here, we can see. Peripheral vision we have. So we have so many other things also. So our eyes are highly developed. And similarly, touch, skin. So skin, if somebody, we don't need to actually touch a thing. If something goes like this and the air which it produces in fast motion, our skin is receptive even to that. And then nose. Nose, of course, our nose has got so many functions. And smell, we are very sensitive to smell. And jivva, taste, we have different kinds of taste buds, tongue. So all these give us sensory inputs and we can understand Vishaya avabodhanat. We can understand the place we are, about the place, we can understand about the sounds, we can understand the smell, etc. And all this help us to, suppose there is some fire in forest, we can, without even seeing fire, we can smell some smoke and we can understand that probably there is some fire, something burning, we can smell and we can understand that there is fire. Similarly, all these are input systems. Then there are output system. Vak. Vak means speech and motion, etc. So here Shankaracharya is explaining the gross body, and then he goes on to explain the subtle body. Nigadyanta karanam manodhi ahankriti chittamiti swavrittibihi manastu sankalpa vikalpanadibihi buddhihi padartha adhyasa adhyavasaya dharmatah atra abhimanat aham iti ahankritihi swartha anusandana gunena chittam. So the inner organs of a person which form part of the subtle body is called Antahkarana. So Antahkaranam nigadyate. Now it is being explained. Antahkaranam is being explained. What is Antahkarana? What are the things which are there in the inner organs of a person? Just like you have outer organs, there are inner organs also. So what are the things which are there in the inner organs of a person? That is mano, mind. If a person is hearing to something, the ears are so developed and the sound waves are going inside, but if a person's mind is not there, then the person may hear everything, but nothing will enter into the brain. Why? Because mind is not there. You may see somebody is wearing some kind of dress, but nothing will get registered. Why? Because mind is not there. So on top of all sensory inputs or sensory organs, mind is important. Your mind also should be present. Your mind also should be focused. So mind. Then buddhi. What is manaha? Manaha is sankalpa vikalpanadibihi. So what does mind do? Mind has this habit or this quality of considering the pros and cons of a particular issue. Pros and cons of a particular issue. That mind has got that habit. Manaha. So first of all, sankalpa. It will think of what to do and whether I should do or not. Then vikalpa. What are the alternatives available? And if I do this thing, what is going to happen? What are the effects of my action? What will be the effects of my actions? These are what the mind thinks. That is why it is difficult for us to come to a decision. It is very difficult for us to come to a decision. Why? Because constantly mind is confused. Mind is in a dilemma about what is the thing, what is the course which we should adopt. And then buddhi. And then comes dhi or buddhi. So buddhi is padartha adhyavasaya dharmatah. So buddhi sees the truth of a particular object. It has got the ability to analyze things. So suppose we go near a water body, say river or lake, etc. What do? We don't simply just jump. If we don't know about the depth of the water, then we just keep some feet and see how deep it is, etc. Whether it is slippery, etc. And then we slowly go into that. So this is the nature of the brain or buddhi. Buddhi is not exactly brain. Buddhi is something which helps you in determining the true nature of objects. Even when we talk to a person, we first ask the name, what are you doing, etc. Then we find out the nature of that person, and only then we go to have a friendship, etc. Before that we will see, okay, let me see. So you are in Facebook, you just send a before sending a friend request, you see what is this person, what is the profile, etc. And then you send a Facebook request. Then you think, okay, now I can be friends, etc. Why? Because the brain wants to understand. You go to a restaurant and something new you want to try. Say, how does it look like? Okay, you give me only this much, and then you take something, and then you, okay, now it is good. Now I will eat more of this. Okay, another plate you bring. Something like that we say. Why? Because Buddhi or intellect has got this habit of analyzing things before knowing the truth. And then ego. What is ego? Ego is abhimanat. Abhimanat. Aham iti ahankritihi. So ego comes from abhimana or identification. What is the identification? That this body, I am this body. So this is my body, or these are my qualifications, or this is my phone number, or this is my house address, etc. So this kind of identification, mamakara, ahankara, mine and me, I and mine, ahankara, I, and mamakara, mine. This is my car, this is my mobile phone, etc. So this comes from the idea of ego. The idea of ego. In the case of a child, ego is not developed. Particularly before 1 year, ego is not developed to that extent, or rather we can say it is not at all developed. So if you see a baby of say 6 months, and we do see that if you give that baby something, that baby will hold on to that and will not want to give up. But some other thing you give to that baby, and that baby will immediately drop this and hold on to another thing. So the ego is not so pronounced in a small child. What do? In the name of education, we give that education to the child and corrupt the child. And after some time, the child has got likes and dislikes, and the child has got ego and so many other problems. So ego, that is why a person who has realized God or the ultimate truth, sometimes that person behaves like a child. Balakavat, it is told in the scriptures. Why? Because of complete lack of ego. So this ego creates lot of problem. Why? Because of our identification with certain object or certain body, and thinking that that is our true self. And chitta. What is chitta? Chitta in English is translated as mind stuff, not mind stuff. What is it? It is the place where things are stored. If somebody eats mango, first time somebody ate mango, the experience of eating mango is stored in this chitta, and that experience is again recollected when again a mango is eaten. So that is called sanskara. Samskara means tendencies. These tendencies or impressions are stored in this place called chitta. So a function of remembering things which it is interested in, that is called chitta. That place is called chitta. So all these things put together constitute the subtle body of a person. Then Shankaracharya says, Prana, Apána, Vyána, Udána, Samána, Bhavati asau Prana, Swayameva vritti bedad, Vikriti bedad, Suvarna saliladivat. There is something which is in English translated as vital force called Prana. Now Prana, this Prana, it has got different kinds of forms. There are Pancha Mahaprana and there are Pancha Upaprana or Laghu Prana. 5 Mahapranas, this Prana or this breath, this energy which makes this body function. When a person dies, we say that Prana has gone away from the body, that energy has gone away from the body. It is not to be confused with one's true nature, Atman or soul. It is different. This is Prana, this is energy. And what is that energy? That energy helps person to do different kinds of actions. All this metabolism which is going on in our body, that needs some kind of digestion of food, that needs some kind of energy. That is one Prana. Then speaking, it needs some kind of energy. That is another Prana. These are all Mahaprana. And then there are Laghu Prana or smaller Pranas. For example, this our eyes, batting of eyelids, that needs some kind of energy. That is different prana. So prana, apana, Vyána, Udána, Samána. These are 5 kinds of Prana, Apána, Vyána, Udána, Samána are 5 kinds of Mahaprana, a big energy. And these are all same energy taking different forms. What is the example given here? Just like gold, gold is same, but with that gold you can make different kinds of ornaments or any other thing. You can make many kinds of objects using that gold. Similarly, this prana takes 5 different kinds of forms. Or water is there. Water can acquire various types of shapes, or water can become ice, it can become foam, it can become waves, etc. Similarly, the prana, the Mahaprana, that has got different roles to play. What are the roles? Vagadi pancha, Shravanadi pancha, Pranadi pancha, Mukhani pancha, Buddhyadi avidyapi cha kama karmani, Puryashtakam shukshma shariramahu. So the prana plays different roles. Now Shankaracharya in this 96th verse is telling that there are different things which together make the subtle body of a person, of a human being. What are these? Vagadi pancha. Vag adi means 5 organs of action, starting with the organ of speech. 5 organs of action. Organ of speech, 2 hands, 2 feet, etc. So these organs are 5. Then Shravanadi pancha, 5 organs of knowledge, like hearing, ears, skin, nose, etc. Then Pranadi pancha, 5 types of pranas. Then Abramukhani pancha. Abramukhani pancha means, Abra means Akasha or sky or ether. So 5 Mahabhuta, 5 elements: air, water, sky, fire and earth. That 5. And then Buddhi, Adi, Avidya, Apicha, Kama Karmani. And then Buddhi. There is Buddhi. Buddhi is intellect. And then there is Manaha, mind. And there is ego. And then there is Avidya. Avidya means ignorance. The idea is everything in this world is consciousness. There is nothing but consciousness. But we find name and form because of ignorance, because of wrong understanding of this world. And karma and also desire. This ignorance produces desire. And karmani and action. So Puri Ashtakam, these are like 8 cities. These are like 8 cities. What are 8 cities? Organs of knowledge, organs of action, pranas, elements, then you have buddhi, then you have avidya, then you have desire and action. These are 8 cities are together. These 8 cities, Puri means city, Ashtakam means a group of 8. These 8 cities, they make what is called the subtle body. Sukshma Shariram Ahuhu. Ahuhu means it is called the subtle body. And then Shankaracharya says, Idam Shariram Shrunu Sukshma Sangitam Lingam tu Apanchi Kritabhuta Sambhavam Savasanam Karma Phalanu Bhavakam Swa Ajnanato Anadi Rupadi Ratmanaha. Shrunu. The teacher says to the disciple that listen to me. Shrunu. Listen to me. What? Idam Shariram Sukshma Sangitam. Sukshma, this Sukshma Sangitam Shariram. This body which is called Sukshma or subtle body. What is this? It is also called lingam or linga body. Lingam in Sanskrit means symbolic. One of the meanings of linga in Sanskrit is symbolic. So this body is symbolic body or subtle body. And what is it? It is to apanchikrita bhuta sambhavam. It is produced by 5 elements before they mix with other elements. There is a process called panchikarana through which all of the 5 elements get mixed with other 4 elements. So before that process takes place, means all the 5 elements in their purest form, they produce this subtle body. They produce this subtle body. And savasanam, karma phala anubhavakam. Also, they have different sanskara, different impressions of karma phala. What is karma phala? Whatever action you do, that action is called karma. But every action produces a result. If you do good action, it will produce a good result. If you do bad action, it will produce bad result. And that result is produced because you think that you do the action. Till such a time that a person thinks you are doing action, all action you do will produce a result. And so, karma phala anubhavakam. You have to face the consequences of your actions either in this birth or in the past birth. And so, this body or the subtle body becomes the receptacle or becomes the ground where these actions, past actions, the fruits of past actions are experienced. So, Shankaracharya says, Swa Ajnanato Anadi Rupa Adhiratmanah. This adhyasa or superimposition. What is superimposition? You see a prism and there is some blue paper kept near the prism on the other side. So what do you see? You see the prism to be of blue color. If you wear a spectacle or some kind of goggles with say yellow color, you will see everything with a yellow tinge, yellow hue. So like that, whatever you see, when you see something, when you are traveling on a tar road on a sunny afternoon, you see that there is water, and when you reach there, you see that there is no water. So that water has been superimposed on the tar. There is no water, it's an optical illusion. So superimposition basically means an optical illusion. You mistake something to be something which it is not. You mistake something to be something which it is not. For example, in the dark, when you see a stem of a tree or something, stump of a tree, then you mistake it to be somebody standing there. Or when people, they move in dark, etc., and I've seen many horror films, when they see somebody, something white, etc., they immediately think that there is bhoot. So all these are different kinds of superimposition. But this superimposition is anadi. This ignorance is anadi. You don't know when it started. There is no beginning for this idea of superimposition. There is no beginning for these ideas of ignorance. You don't know when, if somebody asks you, when did fear start? So you don't know. Fear is there. We don't know when it started. It is beginningless. Similarly, but there is an end for that. The moment you will get knowledge, your fear will come to an end. So, that is produced because of ajnana, because of ignorance. Ignorance about what you have thought about wrongly. So, this world we always see to be of name and form. But that is a wrong idea we have. And that has to go. That is what Shankaracharya is telling here. And that will go when we will get knowledge. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.